Now, I know this is strange for me to be talking about He-Man on a horror channel, but this is a cartoon I grew up on as a child and felt it was important to give my little 2 cents in this matter. If you had not seen the new Masters of the Universe Revelation series on Netflix yet, don't watch this because there will be full-on spoilers ahead. Okay guys, story time. As a kid, it was all about Transformers, Thundercats, G.I. Joe, as well as other ones, other cool-ass cartoons, but also He-Man. But these cartoons, these cartoons were the shit. And they even had a positive message to give at the end of each episode. But let's get into He-Man, Masters of the Universe. You have a guy named Adam who's buff-ass fucking dude, but a regular dude. Then once he wields his sword and says that iconic line, "I have the power!" and turns into a badass. Every kid would say that shit at the playground or just when you're hanging out at home or whatever. Masters of the Universe is He-Man, and He-Man is Masters of the Universe. Honestly, nobody really called it Masters of the Universe. We just called it He-Man. I mean, even the song itself is like He-Man. So, enough said. So let's fast forward to present time and this new show, Masters of the Universe Revelation. Now, before the show was actually released, there was all sorts of controversy surrounding this show. The show has changed everything. It should be called She-Man because Teela takes over the lead role. The show is woke. It sucks. Kevin Smith lied and he never liked He-Man. Blah, blah, blah. We've heard it all. And I was definitely scared going into the show. It was way too hard not to hear about all this stuff, right? But I told myself I will wait until I actually watch the series before I pass judgment. And I mean, when you watch the trailer of the animation, it looks badass. So, Thursday night, it's 11:59, and once midnight hits, I watched the first 5 episodes of the season of the new series. So let's get into the first episode, actually. He-Man and Skeletor both die in the first episode. They die in the first episode. The 2 most iconic characters of the show, they die in the first episode. He-Man, his name... okay, anyways. So, when that happens at the end of the first episode, I'm thinking to myself, what? Then, I watch the next episode. And it's all about Teela and her being a person for hire, her and her partner working together. And I'm kind of just sitting there waiting and thinking to myself, okay, where's He-Man? Did he really die? Is this really it? I mean, the first episode, dude, they didn't wait till like the 4th one or the 5th one. The first one. But we see him in flashbacks. Flashbacks, dude. Not present time, but flashbacks. I nearly lost my mind. And the funny part is, the show is still pretty good, but it's not He-Man. It's a total different show. Dude, both Skeletor and He-Man died in the first episode. I know I keep saying that, but goddammit, that's fucking insane. Anyways, they do both return the last episode, but at that point, it's the Teela show. And on top of that, He-Man dies again in the fucking 5th episode. He dies twice. They kill him off 2 times, or at least so we think he's dead in the last episode. But regardless, though, it's crazy. It's nuts, man. Imagine you're at the show. You're at a metal concert. I'm a metalhead, so I'm just saying. Give myself an example. So imagine you're watching like Slipknot, right? And the lead singer, dude, just walks off stage, but the band keeps playing the entire set. You know, I mean, it's cool hearing him, don't get me wrong, but you're just kind of like, okay, is Corey coming back, dude? Yeah, what's going down? It's kind of equivalent to that, though. He-Man is gone. That's like having a Batman show without Batman. It's just Robin. Still cool, but where the fuck is Batman, right? Where the fuck is He-Man? He's dead! Now look, I'm not gonna get into what other folks have said about it, like being woke and all that stuff and whatever else they got. I have a different angle I'd like to take a look at on this one, so just bear with me. So, back in the 80s, obviously, there was a Transformers cartoon, and they actually released the film because it was so popular, called Transformers the Movie, right? Dude, all the kids were ready for that shit. But the thing is, when you think of Transformers, you think of Optimus Prime. He is the man, all right? Or, excuse me, he's the Autobot. Anyways, in that movie, they killed Optimus Prime off in the first act. And they tried to introduce a new character named Hot Rod and turn him into like the new leader of the Autobots, which led to a new season afterwards of Transformers without Optimus Prime. This did not go over well at all, and kids were extremely pissed. Now, back in the day, we didn't have anything like social media where you can just go online and complain to the world on Twitter or your YouTube channel, which I have now, obviously. We had a thing called snail mail, you know, where you get the letter and you put it in the mailbox, you know, to send it off to whoever you want to. Yeah, that's what we had. And like I said, when this Transformers movie was over with and they brought that new season and there was no Optimus Prime, there was a huge uproar. Kids were just losing their fucking minds. And parents actually sent mail, the snail mail, to these companies letting them know, dude, what the fuck's going on? Bring back Optimus. I mean, hundreds of thousands of letters of complaints about not having Optimus Prime. Bring him back. Bring him back. So, they had no choice but to what? Bring him back. But the sad part about it, though, the damage had already been done. So, the show pretty much ended. You know, the kids had already moved on to something else. And unfortunately, I was one of those kids. But another issue I have with this new series is the marketing of the toys. So, this first run of toys that came out, or that is coming out, they have He-Man, obviously. That's the man, right? He-Man, Skeletor, as well as some other characters, right? But there's no Teela. Even though she's basically the main character. But it's almost as if they knew there'd be some backlash. Can you say bait and switch? False advertising? This makes me angrier than anything else, honestly, though, because it just proves they anticipated this reaction. Another thing I find very suspect, though, is that they only released 5 episodes. That's kind of a shortened half season or season, whatever they want to call this, though. So it makes me wonder, are they testing the waters to see what the reaction would be? Because if that's the case, this is not cool. Not cool at all, because there's no release date for the next 5 or whatever else they have going on. So I find that very, very suspicious, though. But hey, like I said, there's still more episodes to come later this year, so we'll see if this gets course corrected or maybe it'll just stay the same. But I have a feeling that Teela is going to be the next He-Man, or I'm not sure what they're going to call her, but you know, she's going to basically be the man. So, but you know, there is a little show from the 80s as well, and because He-Man had a little cousin named She-Ra, and she was a shit as well. Oh, that's right, I forgot. They already remade that show. So anyways, we won't get into that. Leaving that one alone. But anyhow, these are my 2 cents for whatever it's worth. Shay Nasty out. Lord, I wonder what they would do with Lionel.